been waiting for this.
You are now listening to Digital Suplex Radio.
I did want to give like a small little shout out to two people over on TikTok. We got my man Benji, who's been showing a lot of love in the comments and stuff like that. He said we need a link tree in the TikTok bio, but we need 1,000 followers. So make sure y'all follow us, man. Get us 1,000 followers on TikTok, so that way you can see everywhere we're at, stuff like that. And I also want to give a shout out to this guy, Visionary. Been liking like pretty much like every video once it gets posted. So like that was pretty cool. So right now we ain't no paywall, nothing like that right now, you know, but if y'all show us love, we're gonna show y'all love on the show. So appreciate y'all for staying tuned and tuning in and all that good stuff. So
right on.
Yeah, man, let's kick it off. I guess we can go, where should we start? There's all kinds of things we could talk about. One thing I did want to talk about, since it's fresh on my mind, is we could talk about the AEW scene right now. You know, I feel like that's all. One thing about AEW is that they always doing some newsworthy stuff, even though they might be goofy or they might put on like some 5-star matches. Either way on the spectrum, like they're always doing some newsworthy stuff. So everybody knows CM Punk came back. CM Punk's back. First I want to start there. I've been noticing a lot of kind of like pushback on CM Punk because you know, he's kind of like on some anti-WWE shit.
Yeah.
Since coming back. He's kind of like the bitter ex, which understandable. We all know the story about what happened with CM Punk, but do you feel like that's kind of like affecting his character when he peels back the curtain and is like, you know, WWE bad? What do you think?
Not really, just because I think CM Punk has always been a guy that's how he operates, is like shit talking and kind of being a prick and taking shots, and like that's kind of what he does. And given the history with him in the WWE, like I don't know, to me it's CM Punk being CM Punk. I don't really take any issue with it personally. What do you think?
Yeah, a lot of people, I can kind of see where people come from. Like, kind of like, it's not like he like comes out in every promo and like trashes WWE. I think that's what they're trying to make it out to be. Like he does that, but he doesn't do that. I mean, but you know, he's very vocal about his past and like, you know, how they hold him over there, which I understand completely. But you know, as far as him being AEW champion, I just think it's a weird situation. This is this weird timing where he injured his foot and now, you know, you're kind of sitting out for a while, but they still want to recognize you as champion. Me personally, like this ain't MMA. I think they could have probably took it off. That way it would have been like a bigger kind of thing for him to get it back. Maybe. That's just my opinion. To have interim champion, yeah, to go to the Comic-Con conventions and just to say like I'm AEW champion, yeah, I think that's probably why they did that. But I think I like him at AEW so far. I like him at AEW, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I tell you what though, the thrill of having him here is like I'm still glad he's wrestling. Like I'm glad he's back, because there was a moment where I thought he was gonna be done with wrestling completely. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And you know, we're gonna get into the stare down he had with Jon Moxley. Now, Jon Moxley been also gaining a lot of criticism because this dude will not stop bleeding.
Dude loves to bleed
in all his matches. Is it a little much? What do you think?
Yeah, so if wrestling is already it's a sport, you know, predicated on lying. Like it's a manipulative sport. Like, you know, so like you're already there for the insanity and for the like, you know, the illogical sense of like spectacle they have. If you don't like bleeding in a match, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like I don't know what you like about wrestling. For me, I think everyone should bleed. They should bleed all the time. You get a punch in the face, blood pours down. You got to get some color in there, man. You got to juice a little bit. You know, give them a show.
I hear you. Do you think people being fickle? Because I remember there was a time when it was like WWPG. They were like, "Where's the blood, bro? Attitude Era, the blood, man." And then now you get it with. I guess it's just because it's specifically Jon Moxley. I think it's more like I don't think they're telling him not to do it, but it's just crazy how he bleeds in every single match. I guess he just goes hard in every match.
Yeah, and I think that's his whole thing too. Is he, you know, his whole character right now in this, you know, Blackpool Combat Club era is very much violent pro wrestling. You know, like we should physically beat each other to the point where we're bleeding, and he wants to maintain that like in every match, 100%. And I think he does that. And it's also like kind of goes in like the fact that he's just been having incredible matches, like constantly. Like every match he's been up in has just been so good. And like I don't know, I don't give a fuck how often he bleeds. Bleed whenever you fucking want. You know?
Like I don't
you
care.
Get in the face, you might bleed. You know what I mean? Like,
like I don't care like that he bleeds a lot. I just find it funny that it is every match, which doesn't get old. How does blood get old?
It doesn't get old to me.
How does blood get old? You know what I'm saying? Like who the fuck is watching wrestling? Like I don't know about this blood, man. They kind of got to stop with that shit. What?
Yeah, it's like anytime something like kind of becomes a normal thing, like it's happening in frequency, like people just turn on it for some reason. Like they have to like always be like, it's like they have to be like a contrarian and like have to be against whatever the current thing is. And it's like, just, you know, don't be cooler than you are, man. Like let's just enjoy it. It's okay if everyone likes it. Like you can like it too. Like
just look at the blood, man.
Yeah, this blood is cool, man.
Yeah, what the hell wrong?
I mean, if you're not watching, you know, combat sports for some bleeding, like I don't know what you're watching it for.
You know,
what do you watch wrestling for? Some of the things people complain about, I'm just like, why do you watch wrestling?
Yeah, like the worst
thing.
You
like this? Like, are you a fan at all? Like, do you enjoy it? Like,
you
don't seem to be having a good time here.
Just nitpicking, nitpicking.
It's like it's already a sport that's built on lying.
So like, and violence.
It's already ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's like a big violent con. So like, you know, lean into it.
Yeah, people just fickle, bro.
Yeah. And I think too, there's just like a lot of insecurity still with wrestling fans about being wrestling fans. Like there shouldn't be, but there really is still. Like they have to constantly be picking at everything because they feel, I don't know, insecure that something
gotta point some shit out. Just gotta be ahead. Like, oh, I know what's happening. Like, you know, just
like no one gives a shit. It's like cool. So do we.
People just don't know how to just sit back and just kind of like just watch it. People always gotta feel like they're in control. If you want to be in control, bro, sign up, go to a local wrestling fucking promotion and set the ring up. You know what I mean?
Like go be on the ring crew. Pay your dues.
Pay your dues.
Pay your damn dues.
You know?
Yeah. But, I don't know. Yeah, but people bitch about stuff like that because I've seen it too. Like about Jon Moxley specifically. And it's like, man, if you don't like that, then go watch something else, dude.
Yeah.
For me, I like watching violent fighting like that and seeing some people bleed. You know, there's something, you know, you got to get some of those primitive base, like, you know, emotions and feelings out somehow. You gotta find your way to get that out there.
And it makes it more believable. Ain't that what y'all want?
Yeah, you want believable, like intense, you know, like struggle, like, you know, violent pro wrestling, and that's what they were clamoring for because WWE wasn't giving it to them. People just can't be happy. They can't just enjoy something.
I know, man. But I do want to say real quick. Did you watch the GCW show last night with Effie versus Jon Moxley?
I didn't realize it was already because I saw it afterwards. I'm like, oh shit, that was this weekend. I didn't. Yeah, but
did you see the kiss between Jon Moxley and Effie?
Yeah, I saw that was circulating on Twitter. That's funny.
Yeah, that's a big moment. That's a big moment right there. Yeah. That's big.
Yeah, so, that's how he won it. Like he caught him off guard with a big old smooch, and then hit him with that Death Rider, that elevated paradigm shift.
Right. Yeah. So that's good storytelling too. And for all my Sonic fans out there, Rouge versus Tails in the tournament. Anyway, I put the clip up. You could be like, oh shit, yeah, there it is. But another thing I wanted to talk about was damn, I'm pulling it up. Stall for time. What the fuck?
This is off the cuff, people. This is all live right
This
here.
is live, baby. No script, unscripted.
Yeah.
Did you I know this is kind of old news now, but we could talk about the photo op that Sasha Banks and Naomi had. I just thought that was so hilarious. Sad, hilarious, cringe, and just, I mean, let's play devil's advocate right here.
Okay.
So, you know, the meet and greet with fans. We kind of talked about meet and greets and like, you know, stuff with fans before. But as like a woman wrestler, people be creepy. You know what I mean? People creepy. People creepy as hell. So I know everybody's seen the Beth, what's her name? Oh, fuck. Becky Lynch photo with the guy giving her the spoon. I know everybody's seen that picture. And so here it's saying the convention was trying to like abide by precautions like COVID and stuff like that. Okay, but I think the deal was, Sasha was like, man, I don't want these motherfuckers next to me. Probably, but what do you think?
I mean, probably so. Like,
I thought it was hilarious.
yeah, it is funny. It is funny. And like, and like, because even for me, like personally, like I don't honestly don't like if I do meet and greets, like go to meet and greet. I don't really ever go. I don't think I ever really do meet and greets or go to them. But
Yeah, it's not. You're not missing none.
yeah, I mean, like it's not a huge deal for me to like have to get that picture. And like knowing Sasha's history with fans, and maybe it is COVID protocols makes sense because COVID is still really bad. People, it's still bad. Shit has not changed,
man.
So there is that aspect too. But yeah, I did see the picture of like the dude like standing.
There she is. She's over there.
Yeah,
that's her over there.
Yeah,
that
was funny.
But it's the price too. It's like, would you drop? Me personally, bro, I wouldn't drop $130 for a picture where I guess he got that news slammed on him at the last minute. Like, oh, I'm supposed to be standing right
Yeah,
here.
I mean, if I knew going into it, I'd be like, I'm not paying for that. No, I'm like, I get it, but I'm not paying for it.
Yeah, you essentially paying to stand in the same room as Sasha and Naomi, and they get proof of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's not like a really,
and that's not, and like I don't even give a shit personally. Like if I tell you I met someone and you don't believe me, there's
I'm
nothing
sorry.
I can do.
There's
like, all
I
right,
well, I saw that motherfucker.
A liar, that's fine, but I know the truth. Yeah, so I don't. And like people have like, so speaking about like creepy pictures with fans in wrestling. So because this is like an old news. So like this is like way like months ago, maybe sometime last year, because that kind of happened with Mickie James. Like Mickie James took a picture with a fan, and like they were posed like prom dates, and so everyone was dunking on this dude for being creepy and like calling him out and like just being really mean. And like Mickie James had to come in and say, like, no, this is like a longtime fan who I know, and he's always been very supportive. And this was a very specific thing that we talked about and agreed to do. So shut up. And yeah, just another one of those things too, where like you see shit like that, and I guess your inclination is to, I don't know, judge and dunk, but then because people were mean to that dude.
Yeah, it's easy to dunk on wrestler fans. They're hardcore fans, so they're gonna pour in a little money just to stand, be able to stand. I know I have twice with Hurricane and Jeff Hardy, so
yeah.
I mean, it's just, if you're a wrestling fan, bro, if you want to spend how much ever to stand next to your, wrestling crush or favorite wrestler or whatever, then do that shit, man.
That's all you, man.
That's just a part of that's just a part of not giving a fuck what people think. But it is kind of like, I don't know, I thought the spacing, that's a little much. I think Sasha Banks, they did something where like they had ring ropes at like American Airlines or what, it was like a WrestleMania or something, and people stood in front.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous. You may not even like, why even like sell the picture? Like, why even like do a picture? Like, just don't do a picture. Like, you're concerned, just do the meet at the safe distance and then buy. Like,
yeah, like a meet.
Because that's just like just a nice little shake their hand and go. Because if you're gonna take a picture, you're standing fucking 15 feet away from them. Like, why even do it at all?
Just to, I don't know. It doesn't look awkward. Like she's literally, I don't know.
Kind of awkward.
It just looks awkward.
Also, I did see like too, like they were, I don't know like at what point in the day it was, because pictures only tell so much of the story. But like there was a picture of like the side by side between Naomi and Sasha's lines, and like Sasha's was like really fucking long, and there was like a little like handful of people.
Shit, if I would have seen that, I would have been like, yes, I'm about to go right to Naomi.
Yeah. Yeah. But might be a little nicer because Sasha can be kind of standoffish. I've seen like when she talks to...
I feel like Sasha's more popular, but I think Naomi's just so underrated, bro. Like
she's
that's
so
one
good.
of my favorite like
she's so good
women's wrestlers like
that
in a while.
Like there was a clip that went viral like last year. I think it was 2021. 2021 Royal Rumble. I think it might have been even before that. It might have been before COVID. It was a Royal Rumble, but she came in and like she just like she had a big run in because I think it was like she was coming back, and then she just like was cleaning house and like doing all this cool shit, and like people that weren't wrestling fans, like just casual people that just were like appreciative of like all this athleticism, like it was like really big, and like it was like a viral clip that went beyond wrestling Twitter and into like, just general online circles. And I even had friends that don't watch wrestling, like text me like, oh my God, who is this person? I'm like, that's fucking Naomi. She's so good. Like she's amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, so absolutely. Like she can, she's totally a star. I don't know why the fuck she doesn't like push as way she needs to be. But,
Hell yeah. She calls it the rear view.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Naomi's awesome. I thought like, and she made that Feel the Glow gimmick like hers, like, bro, sick at one of the best custom titles of all time, like the Glow title. Come on, stop playing.
Yeah, and that entrance, with the
great
black
entrance.
lights, with the neon, like you just see her silhouette like dancing, like that's badass.
The whole presentation of Naomi is dope. Like,
and the way she moves in the ring really smoothly, like she is so athletic.
And they didn't fumble Naomi. They didn't really fumble Naomi at all. Like she just didn't get the right placement.
Yeah, she did everything right.
Yeah, and they didn't
fumble everything right.
They didn't give her no dumbass gimmick. They didn't like make her, and she stayed out of trouble. Like, unless you count like the walkout trouble, but like, nah, bro. Like she's been solid. Like she's been a solid like part of WWE. So I don't know if she ever comes back. Hopefully she comes back, which gets me into my next subject of Triple H, Reign of Terror Part 2. Nah, fuck with you. Triple H, Reign of Terror Part 2, where he's actually I feel like making the company better, bro. I'm telling you. Remember, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it might be a little
and then people like immediately were like the first thing that a lot of people did was jump to like, okay, how many AEW guys now are like, oh man, I'm gonna go back to WWE. It's like, yeah, relax a little. But yeah, I've heard a lot of good things. People are excited.
Yeah, a lot of people, and you can see the change right now. You see, just little things like Angel Garza getting his last name back, name changes, better booking.
He brought some people back too.
He brought Dexter Loomis back.
I do like. I think that probably the best one. I think my favorite thing so far, like just that I've seen. I haven't watched it at all, but is the team of Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Shirai, who's now Io Sky. Yeah, I think that's a great grouping.
Yeah,
because people were and people were waiting for Bailey to get back too. I think that was a great idea because Dakota Kai rules. Io Sky now she rules. Bailey rules. So I thought that was really cool. I think in general, honestly, in general, like the WWE women's division is, there's a lot more. Probably a lot more interesting than AEW's. Just because they book it and they give them time.
And that could be a whole conversation. But like, man, yeah, WWE women's division. We talking about women's division. Kill AEW women's division. Stop playing, bro.
Yeah.
Stop playing. And that's just because they give them more time, character.
Yeah, and and like I can kind of see the counter to that. It's like with AEW, like I guess still being new or whatever. People say like, oh, it's not the same because because WWE has already been, yada yada yada, and AEW. I'm like, but look, like the things that AEW were immediately able to like just totally blow WWE out of the water for whatever fucking reason, their women's division still is just abysmal. Yeah, because they don't. Tony Khan, I don't think Tony Khan gives a shit, honestly. I really don't.
No doubt. Yeah,
part of me wonders if that was just like, because whenever Cody and Brandy left, my first thought was like, okay, so what are those things like in the company that just felt like Cody and Brandy and not so much Tony Khan, but more so them bringing their stuff in. And I think the women's division was that because it was kind of Brandy Rhodes is like, kind of like she introduced the women's division, and like she was kind of the spokesperson with the kind of the face of like the business side of that.
Right.
I mean, like I know like Kenny Omega is like I think is still technically over the women's division, right? Yeah. Yeah. But it's one of those things where I felt like Tony Khan probably never wanted. I just don't think he cares about women's wrestling. But no evidence like suggests to me that he like even gives a shit. Like, even because everything is so like, it's you got to be fighting for belts. You get one match a show, maybe 2 matches on a pay-per-view. Like it's all very much like the bare minimum, the absolute bare minimum. Yeah, and nothing more.
And they've been around. AEW's been around for 3 years.
Yeah,
and I can probably name you. I probably couldn't. No disrespect. I probably couldn't name you 10 women off their roster. Okay, that's not fair. I'll probably say like 10, 15 women off their roster that's actually like main event status level that they've actually built up prominent contenders. Because like Jade Cargill go out and wrestle Anna Jay for the TBS title, and you like, wait, how'd they get here? Like, you know, it's just storylines ain't really there. And we've been
like
saying this for 3 years. Like, it's
and
been
like
3 years.
you can tell, like, because you know that Tony Khan is capable of it, because you can see with the way he books the men's division, like he's like pretty particular and like kind of meticulous in the way that he books a little bit, like in terms of making things make sense. He doesn't really care to make the women's division make much sense.
Right. And you feel bad for him because it's like they try. You could tell they're trying. You could tell they're trying.
There's so many great ones. Like it's not, and it's not from a lack of them not being good enough. It's the fact that like they have to be placed there. They have to be given the time. They have to be booked. Like, that's when people always say that too. They're always like, well, who could logically even have those kinds of matches right now? I'm like, dude, like those are given. They're not like, they don't just walk up in front of the camera and like take their spot. No, they're given segments and told to do things. So like, if you're not doing that, then of course they're not going to look like main event players or main players, because you're not giving people reason to invest in them. That's why like it lacks so much.
Yeah, so we're gonna see what they do with the women's division. I feel like I've been saying that every episode, but
but I think that what we got here was because we're talking about Triple H, and like I thought, for
sure.
It's a great thing that he did with Bayley.
And look, Triple H, he knows how to book, and I think he might be not like it fucking matters, but I think he might be like in the running for Best Book of the Year award for PWI, whatever, because he knows what the fans want. And did you hear that recently? Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey teamed up on a house show circuit, and the fans were responding positively. They were giving them some big ass pops, so we might see a tag team, which makes sense. Like, we might see a tag team.
I thought that was like one of their big long-term plans, because remember, like in NXT, it was Shayna Baszler, Jessamine Duke, and Marina Shafir. Like they were, a team, and they were part of like, the Four Horsemen of MMA, and like the idea was they were going to put them with Ronda Rousey, and then there was like, future, like the foreman of the WWE's like women division. It was like, Bayley, Charlotte, Sasha, Becky, and like they were kind of teasing like that grouping, and they just kind of stopped with like the MMA people in NXT. Like, I mean, Marina, they didn't really have any prominent roles after like Shayna Baszler left.
So I don't know. But I remember they were booking Shayna like a monster, like in NXT. Now it's
she would never lose.
Yeah, she had the same undefeated streak as Asuka almost. I think Asuka was the only undefeated woman in NXT. Shayna Baszler came like second, and then she got over
because it was she lost in the Mae Young Classic to Kairi Sane, and so there was that like developed a nice long-term rivalry in NXT with
it. Sure did.
Baszler,
sure did. Yep.
And so like and the big story was Shayna Baszler's knocking like and just killing everyone, but that one hump she couldn't get over was Kairi Sane.
Right.
And that was good long-term booking. So like Triple H got that down.
He got it, man. Triple H got it. So I can't wait to see what else he bring to the table. Maybe I'm looking for a drastic change though. A lot of things been like small here or there. I think he's kind of like trying to clean up some stuff that Vince left for him, but I want to see a drastic change, like set design, entrance music, entrance video, logo. Like I want to see some big things change. I feel like we dealt with this version of WWE for a long time, like this lame ass just kids show for a long time, and I think it's time to like kind of, because AEW has that perfect mix between like some for the kids, some for the adults, some for the.
It has a little edge to it too, like
it got edge.
It got a little bit of grit to it, and WWE is still very like squeaky clean, very sanitized.
Right.
Put a bow on it, beautiful little package.
Right.
Whereas AEW kind of has a little more organic kind of. I won't say punk rock because it's still run by a billionaire, but like it's still got a little grit,
Hello, fellow kids.
It still feels like that kind of that loose, and kind of this natural feel to it.
Yeah, for real. So you hear Tony Khan's kind of getting on people's nerves backstage?
Yeah, I heard about that. That doesn't surprise me,
and I can see it. Yeah,
because I think we are. It's like we've said before, they're 3 years into this, so they're not new anymore. Like they're they're an established, you know, company. And people were like, you know, talking like, you know, I don't know, like they're like everyone always talking about how great backstage is in AEW. Like everyone gets along, everything's cool, and like we're all a big family. I'm like,
yeah, I love
that
it,
shit. You can't sustain that for too long. I know shit's gotta be.
It's gotta be
some chaos back there.
It's too many chefs in the kitchen, whatever the fuck they say.
Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. People
and Tony
different
Khan's
types of people.
he's such a tryhard and such a like wants everyone to be his fucking friend.
That's how you piss people off, bro.
Yeah.
It was a good saying I heard from a movie, bro. It was like a friend of everybody is an enemy or some shit like that. I forgot what. Damn, bro. I need to get my quotes down.
I get the sentiment. Yeah, I get.
But it was something like that, and it's like, yeah, man. If like motherfucker, like I'm trying to be cool with, it's like trying to be friends with and friendly with everybody. I think it comes off as being fake. Like no matter what. Yeah. I'm gonna try to be this dude friend. I'm gonna be this dude friend. You know,
dressing up like Orange Cassidy manipulative a little bit. You know,
a little bit, yeah,
and a little bit because you're
that's like that's a natural boss. That's a natural boss tendency is to try to fake it till you make it. Have a nice appearance on paper and stuff like that. Dress up like Orange Cassidy. Oh, look at this guy, he's fun.
Be friends with your wrestlers.
Yeah,
I hate it when I hate it. Like it happens in wrestling a lot. You see it with Triple H too, because people like and like a lot of younger NXT talent back then would talk to Triple H. They were like, they were like, yo, that's my dad right there. He's like a proud dad. Like, you should not have that kind of relationship with your boss.
Oh yeah,
like,
for
that's
sure.
Weird. That's weird.
Oh yeah, stop.
That's a power imbalance. Like remember
imbalance.
Your place. Remember your place because you might think he's your dad now. That motherfucker could be firing you in about 2 months.
There you go. There you go. This is something we don't really do this, but this is something a little unrelated to wrestling. My dad told me a story where this is back in the 80s when they had like cassette tapes, and his boss, he worked at like a printing store, and his boss was in the car was in my dad's truck with him and was like, hey man, I love that new Q-Tip, man. Let's play the new Q-Tip album. And they were chilling in the car laughing and stuff. The next day, my dad got into a confrontation with a customer, and the customer was like, hey, this guy was bad mouthing me, and then his manager was like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. Hey Darren, we need you to and just be better. And you're like, you motherfucker, you were in my car yesterday fucking bumping music. Fuck this job, I quit. You know, just because it's just you fake it till you make it. And when Tony Khan, I feel like he does. Now that this is getting out, because we ain't never heard this shit before, I think people starting to be like, okay, fuck this shit. We're gonna tell everybody what Tony Khan really is.
More people are frustrated now. Like now that they're seeing like just how he is, like who he prioritizes, how he books. You're starting to see people like kind of get left out, and people are, and they've been there long enough to see, okay, these are problems here, and now they're kind of getting out of it.
Oh yeah,
yeah, naturally so, because like I know it can't be fucking paradise back there.
Oh hell no,
absolutely not, no.
But screaming on them through the headset, just like Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
screaming on them through the headset.
Man, imagine having to hear that.
Yeah.
Excalibur, why the fuck did you start?
Daniel Bryan is on the ropes. You're supposed to say he's on the ropes. Fucking Tony Khan, man. I can hear him.
Yeah, I can.
He did 3 fucking moves, and you only caught 1. You know.
Yeah.
He can go off, man. He can go off.
But going back to Triple H, with his kind of this new creative takeover, because the thing I'm still like making sure to pay attention to is like, so Vince McMahon is still like a majority stockholder, like
is he though?
Shareholder.
Is he though?
Like he is. Like he may
even
not
though he
be
retired?
Right. Like he's still a majority shareholder in the company. So like he retired from what I understand or how it's playing out. Like, cause I'm still skeptical that he's just gone entirely.
Still?
Yeah.
You don't think he just left?
I mean, in creative, sure.
Ain't no way,
like,
bro.
He's not back there, obviously. Mm-hmm. But like, in terms of like the company itself, like you think, I'm still not convinced, just because a part of it still because obviously it was a reaction to the scandals, to the allegations.
For sure, yeah. That more came out too, by the way.
Retire in a vacuum. Like there was a reason.
Yeah.
He chose then.
He was gonna run that bitch till he died. Yeah.
Right, and so far the wrestling media has not been paying attention to that, because now they're just too busy riding Triple H's dick from giving him a cooler show, and and they're doing it too. Like fucking what's his fucking face? Sean Ross Sapp? Like
you don't like Sean Ross Sapp?
Fuck Sean Ross Sapp. Fuck that dude.
Man,
that dude's a nerd.
He's a nerd.
He's a big nerd. And like
he just always knows some shit. How you know every goddamn thing? You spoiling the fucking show for me, man.
Yeah, but it goes further than that for me because for me, like his reporting is he just wants to know who's backstage.
I know, man.
He just wants to know who's backstage.
Oh my God.
He doesn't really report on anything of substance. Like he hasn't touched the Vince McMahon story. And I think Fightful has one of the like largest, followings, in the wrestling media. Why aren't they talking about this? Why aren't they investigating this more? Why aren't they pushing back? Why aren't they asking people in the company and talking to wrestlers, talking to workers? You know why? It's because Sean Ross Sapp wants to keep access to ask his little wrestling questions to his little wrestlers about their fake sport.
Bang.
He wants to just interview them. He wants to have access to them, so he won't ask hard questions. And there aren't many wrestling media people that are doing that, and like people aren't addressing it. They're just kind of like, well, Vince is gone now, and now it's the AAA chair, and it's like, bitch. This like a fucking rapist has been running your company and has created a workplace culture of bullying and harassment, and like this shit goes from like, I know it's still there. That culture is still there. Like, no one's talking about that. And Sean Ross Sapp won't talk about it because anytime someone pushes them on, he just blocks them. Yeah, and like he'll show up on a GCW show. And like hang out or whatever.
Oh
and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Because I think he was there at the Collective. I wasn't at that show, but yeah, he was out there in a battle royal, whatever the fuck.
Oh, what? No way.
Like he was on their show, on a GCW show.
Oh, that's a little smarky, bro. But
yeah, because
like Sean Ross Sapp is here. What the fuck?
Like the thing is, like if you're gonna be a journalist, a wrestling journalist, reporter, you need to keep a healthy balance, a line between where your work starts becoming where you're starting to try to be one of the boys, as they say.
There you go.
Like at some point you have to ask yourself, are you a journalistic like are you a journalist, like a journalist company, a news company, or are you a fan blog? Like are you just a fan that wants to talk to wrestlers and hang out with wrestlers?
Because if that's the case,
be fucking honest.
And if that's the case, I'll take your motherfucking job.
Yeah, because I mean if that's what you want to do, but if you want to call yourself a reporter and like have the scoops and be the guy that everyone goes to, motherfucker, start being honest about these companies you're reporting on.
For sure, yeah. And don't just be.
But because he just wants it to like he wants to report on like the kayfabe aspects and like just the like that part of it. And it's like that if you're gonna like cover the industry. You gotta cover the industry. Yeah. You gotta cover the business. Yeah. That's just how I feel. Like I have a lot of respect for journalism. I'd studied journalism. I wouldn't call myself a journalist. I did a little bit of reporting when I was in college. But that being said, like a lot of those wrestling media people, like wrestling reporters and journalists, all they do is just, kiss wrestlers' asses and just try to ask them about what happened and what they would like, what was it like doing this in 2004 or whatever? Like, bitch, a rapist runs the company. Yeah. You don't want to turn into a Meltzer, like a Russo or something like that. Russo on the writing side of things, but man, we got a little 5-minute warning. Warning. This ended up being a Ross Sapp slander. Yeah. Shots fired, Sean. I have mutuals. Like I have trans mutuals specifically. And because Sean Ross Sapp's reply guys, the people that go to bat for him anytime someone criticizes him, are some of the fucking worst people. And they'll say some shit. They'll say some fucking transphobic shit to some of my trans mutuals, and he doesn't say anything about that. He just kind of lets him go because he fucking vanity searches. He name searches himself on Twitter, and he'll find the people that are calling him out on stuff. He'll quote tweet them, and then he'll send his fucking little minions, his little sheep. Oh yeah. Yeah, and he won't claim that he does that, but I've seen it. I've seen that shit happen. I've seen the people that dick ride that motherfucker. Sean Ross Sapp, man. Hey, man. Fuck that dude. The ball is in your court, brother. Yeah. Yeah, we have 44 followers on Twitter. Yeah, so bring it, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're closing in. You understand?
So, man, yeah, you know what? It's funny you brought that up. I love that we're covering each and every aspect of wrestling too, because I noticed Sean. So I see him pop up every now and then. Look, all the stuff you went into, I agree with you saying, but I wasn't really into that aspect. I was like more like, dude, this dude is always just wanting to just spoil something or just. Like that's the problem. Like sometimes you gotta live in the moment. Like I said, like I guess I'm just a dumbass wrestling fan at heart. Like, but like I feel like his digging kind of like it just makes the product like less exciting. Because if you're following him, because you are a hardcore wrestling fan, you do want to know what's happening. Like with Sasha Banks, Naomi, Vince stepping down. You do want to know that
because that's a situation that comes down to like bosses and their employees. Like, are bosses treating their employees fairly? You want to know that stuff. You want to know if because they are still a company, you want to know if that company is running ethically. And guess what? Historically, the WWE is not an ethical company by any means.
Y'all know that. Y'all know that already.
And wrestling media doesn't want to touch that stuff because like Sean Ross Sapp will dig in for his scoops, but his scoops are always like so and so was reported backstage, and it always has something to do with like the show, the little tidbits you learn have to do with like the show itself, not about the business at large.
There you go.
But he still wants to claim that he's like this reporter who's like got all the inside stories.
Man,
like, all your story is just spoiling shit for people.
There you go.
Telling them when someone got fired and like maybe you should investigate like why all these mass layoffs are happening.
Or like then when the massive layoffs came out, he was like, "Got some news, very bad news, guys. Gonna come back in about 5 hours. 50 people, just heard 50 names."
Yeah, it's
like a fucking drum roll.
It's on Fightful Select for subscribers. This nerd. When Wall Street Journal did the first big story on Vince, he did a video. Like Sean Ross Sapp had a video where he was like kind of going over it, but he was like, "This motherfucker, this fucking nerd." He was like, "I don't want to give away too many details from this report because I want y'all to go support." The reporting of the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, hide behind a paywall.
The article was behind a paywall. So he refused to say more details because it was behind a paywall. It wasn't even his fucking company.
Yeah,
don't be a nerd, man. Don't be a shill.
Yeah, man. So, hey, you're not going to find no shills on this show. Digital Suplex Radio. We bring you the hard, straight facts,
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I'm a fan of wrestling. And if companies are getting into some bullshit,
we're going to call them out. Call them out. Yeah, call them out. Talk about it.
Yeah, because as long as they're in control of the wrestling, then my eyes on you, motherfucker.
Man, that's not somebody I want targeting me. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right.
Let's go. Man, this is getting tense.
All right, but I've been bottling that up for a while.
That's good. I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you expressed yourself on that. That is, bro. I've been meaning to talk about Sean.
I got thoughts on like the wrestling journalism landscape, as you can tell.
We might gotta do a themed episode on that. Episode on that. But
there's only like a few good ones that are out there asking some real shit.
Yeah. So y'all, if y'all haven't already, man, make sure y'all follow us on everything. Linktree/Digital Suplex Radio, man. I don't got time to say all the goddamn apps. There's too many of them. But hey,
we're out there. We're out there.
Needs more content for y'all. It's been me. It's been Shane. Thanks y'all for joining. We will see y'all when we see y'all, and peace out.
Peace.